Well, from chart-topping pop star to man of the church to jungle celebrity, our next guest really has done it all.
Joining us now to talk jungle life, murder mysteries and his brand new book, A Death on Location, is Reverend Richard Coles. Good morning, Richard.
Morning.
Great to have you on. Congratulations on the new book. Can you tell us a little bit about it? It's the newest book in your Canon Clement mystery series and it's called A Death on Location. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, it's the fifth in the series. And when you write a murder mystery that's set in an English village, very soon you have a logistical problem, is that your mortality rate overtakes Midsummer by about book 3. So you need to get fresh meat into the village to have victims and murderers. And so I've done it this time by having that there's a period drama being filmed at the grand house, the big house where the DeFlores family live. And unfortunately, at the end of shooting one day, the cast list is down one.
Uh-oh. And then we discovered that there has been a murder.
Yeah, and it's Daniel's job, who's the rector of Champton, Daniel Clement, assisted by DS Neil Van Loo, his two dachshunds, Cosmo and Hilda, and his feisty mother, Audrey, to find out what's gone wrong and to try to fix it and make it right again. Death follows Daniel round like a sort of Old Testament plague. I wouldn't go anywhere near him if I met him in real life.
Yeah, it's like Jessica Fletcher. Who'd want to be your friend? They just keep
Exactly.
dying. You know? Try to sell a house in Champton. It's not going to happen.
No, nothing shifting there.
Anyway, the first book, the Murder Before Evensong, is set to become a TV series, which is very, very exciting. Have you had any involvement in its adaptation for the screen?
Yes, I'm an executive producer, as a matter of fact. And I wondered what that was. And I found out what it means. It means when you go on set, someone gives you a set of headphones, which means you're important. I'm not sure if they were connected to anything. And then the other thing is, if you want a bacon sandwich, everyone brings you a bacon sandwich. So I'm Hitchcockian, really, in my impact on the filming community. But really, it was talking to actors. Matthew Lewis, who you may remember as Neville Longbottom in the Harry Potter franchise, is filled out nicely now. He plays Daniel. Amanda Redman is his mother, Audrey, and Amit Shah plays DS Van Loo. So it's really talking to the actors so they can get into understand what it felt like to be a vicar in the 1980s. Books are set in the 80s and the 90s.
Amanda's given up the blonde look. So
she has, yeah. She's gone for a sort of, well, it looks like a Queen hairstyle, but it's exactly the kind of hairstyle a vicar's mother trying to live in a genteel life on reduced circumstances might go for.
So, Richard, since the last time we had you on, you've become a bit of a national treasure since appearing on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. How was that experience for you? And was the jungle, was it as you expected? Was it worse? Was it better?
So much better. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. I only did it because my agent made me. But as soon as I got into it, I found myself bunking up with Maura.
Yes.
So I got to share a bed on my first night with a Love Island finalist, and someone said to me, that's a bit like offering a pork pie to a vegan, but you know. But I had a lovely time with Maura. Choruses of her going, sorry, fatter, will be with me all my life. And I discovered I really enjoyed it. We had a great time. It was a great group of people. I munched my way through most of the kind of insect life of Australia and beyond, and that was fine. Most of all, I just loved being in the jungle and hanging out with my new pals.
One of your new pals was G.K. Barry. The conversations between you two were just, well, they were some of the high points of the series.
Well, I haven't watched them back, but I still don't understand what some of the words mean that she taught me. You go into the reality. One of the things I like about doing a reality format telly show is that you usually get a bromance out of it, and I did get a bromance out of it, but with a 25-year-old lesbian influencer, which I didn't see coming. But she's certainly broadened my world, and we continue to be the best of pals.
What was maybe the best thing you learned from GK during your time, or since? Are you still in touch, actually, since you left the jungle?
Yeah, we are. We're shortly going to be working on a programme together, actually, in which we dive a bit further into each other's worlds. What I learned from GK, I think it's her sort of attitude to life I really liked. You know, a few years ago, she was a barista doing flat whites at the Costas in Soham, and now all of a sudden she's got 26 billion followers on Splish Splosh, whatever it's called, I don't know. But she makes me laugh every day, and she's got just this kind of angled view of the world, which I find matches mine.
Yeah, well, she went from barista to, Splish Splosh. You went from pop star to Church of England, but there was a stop-off with Catholicism for a while along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I was raised in the Church of England, raised with the sort of healthy atheism that often the Church of England engenders in its followers. And then later in life, when religion started to make a bit more sense to me, I sort of became beguiled by Roman Catholicism. I think I wanted something that was kind of big and rigorous and very sharply defined. And I got all that and I loved it, but I discovered that I was really Church of England. And so I made my way back into a sort of world that was familiar, because I was a chorister when I was a kid, so I grew up with it, knew the music, knew the people, got it, and then found my home there. But I remain eternally grateful for my relationship with the Roman Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm. You've spoken before about how the Church of England isn't always the easiest place for gay clergy. How did you manage to preserve your faith and identity when they didn't always align, maybe institutionally?
Well, fortunately, faith doesn't depend on how churches behave, which is just as well, or there'd be nobody with it, I think. So faith in me, God, and me being gay, I had no problem about that. I'm sure God was fine with it. So it was a question of just finding a way of negotiating my way through a church that was very divided about it. It would be much harder indeed if I had been a Roman Catholic, I think. The Church of England, because it doesn't really like defining things too tightly, does leave a bit of wiggle room for people. Although that's sort of a matter of debate at the moment too. But I just thought, I don't think God has a problem with this. I'll have to kind of tread my way through this as carefully as I can.
Mm-hmm. You've retired from the church now, so can we still call you Reverend?
Well, yes. I mean, in the parish, people call me Father Richard. One child used to call me Father Christmas, which confused me a little bit on costume. But now I'm helping out in the parish. I'm retired, but I'm helping out in the parish near where I live, down on the south coast of England, and it's a lovely parish. And I said to the vicar, when I asked if she would have me as an assistant priest, she said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Anything but a meeting." And she said, "I hear you."
She's well used to that, I'm sure. Yeah. You also stepped away from the BBC around that same time. Why did you choose to do that?
Well, the BBC stepped away from me by going to Wales. No disrespect to Wales, but the programme that I had presented for, I think, 12 years was shifted to Cardiff from London. And it just meant it would take 2 days out of my week to do it, rather than the one day I had to do it in, and I just couldn't spare the second day. And also, I sometimes think I felt a bit like a bed blocker. I've been at the BBC for 30 years, and I thought maybe it'd be good for somebody else to have a go, you know?
Richard, would I be right in saying that you're a big GAA man?
Well, I am a big GAA. I mean, I don't want to oversell my GAA credentials because they're pretty flimsy, but I'm a bars man, yeah, and I follow Cork. And I'm never happier than if I'm watching. But it started where I was watching Normal People, and I just thought, why is he picking that football up? I'm sure that's not normal football. Mm-hmm. And then I got to love it. And now I can watch, because they started showing it on the BBC. They showed the All-Ireland final for the first time on the BBC, and I got the neighbours round. And the famous psychotherapist, Philippa Perry, half an hour into that, was shouting, "Kill him! Kill him!" I could see it was working.
Yes, it is a bit tribal,
yeah, they're the kind of emotions that are evoked during a match. Yeah,
I know.
Well, I mean, I love that. I was at Royal Ascot for my first ever race meeting this week, and I had lots of fun. I hung out with some Irish trainers and various other people in the Irish racing community, and I had such a good time. I don't know why I haven't done that before. So I'm booked for the Cheltenham Gold Cup. I'm going to go along with that and meet up with some of my new friends.
Now, but we have noticed, and you did mention it before we came to air, a little bit of red on your forehead. You took the hat off, and you got a bit sunburned. Yes.
Well, I had to wear a top hat. I mean, it looked absolutely ridiculous, this absurd costume. Changing in the car on the way there, you know, I picked it up from a hire shop, so it had weird stains, but we don't go there. So I had a grey top hat, which is the most impractical headgear to wear. But then I had to present a cup after the 6:10, so I had to take it off, and I sat there, sort of gradually going beetroot red under the blazing sun. What was the hottest day of the year?
Yeah.
But the whole thing I had such a great time. I loved it.
OK. Well, the red matches the colour of Cork, and I know your second team when it comes to GAA is Dublin, and both of them are in action against each other tomorrow in an All-Ireland qualifier. So
I'm very excited about that. If I can get my 15-year-old neighbour to show me how to work the internet, I'll be following it closely.
Yeah. But will you be going red or blue?
I have to go red, I'm afraid. Well, you know, I don't know if it's the same in foot. Like Arsenal is my first team and Chorley is my second team, and I'd have to say Cork first, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Family connections.
Okay, you're speaking to two true blues here, but we'll forgive you today, Richard. All right.
Well, I'm the least sectarian person in the world, so may the best team win.
Yeah, it just for us made to be wearing blue.
Yeah.
You found love again. I was delighted to hear this.
Thank you. Yes, I did. After losing my husband, who died in 2019, I thought that was me done. But then gradually thought, oh, maybe I could share this life with someone again. I didn't know how to do it. So my nephew and my nieces got me on the dating apps. And well, there was one or two which I said probably weren't suitable. There's one called Cassock Chaser, which I said probably not work for me. But we found one where I met Richard, my new partner, and he, like me, he was a gay man in his 60s. At the end of a long relationship, there we are, looking for a new thing in life. And we met and we went on, I think, the most typical old gay date imaginable. We went to meet in a Royal Horticultural Society garden, and then we had a quiche and salad, and our eyes met over that. And that's been great. That was 2.5 years ago now.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, but he's afraid, Richard is afraid to whisper in front of this, Richard, because of the hearing aids. He can hear everything now.
Oh.
Well, we've both got hearing aids now, so my inheritance from pop music is hearing loss too. So now our sort of bedtime ritual, night-night darling, and then we unplug our hearing aids and we can't hear each other snore, so that's good.
It sounds idyllic, to be honest.
Absolutely
you know?
Pretty good, I recommend it.
Reverend Richard Cole, thank you so much for joining us today and best of luck with the new book.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you.
Richard's new book, A Death on Location, is available now in all good bookstores.